Good morning. Welcome to Kilachari Torah's daily Halacha review for Tuesday, June 1st. Now it's getting to be wedding season, and we talked last week about chuppahs. Now we're talking about Sheva Brachas, about saying repeating the 7 blessings at the wedding meal, and also at the 7 days of rejoicing that a bride and groom have after their wedding. So there's a discussion amongst the halachic authorities if you're allowed to leave early. If you leave the wedding early, you will not be there for the Sheva Brachas, and you also won't bench with a zimun. You also won't say the Birkat Hamazon with a zimun, with the invitation. There's a special invitation for weddings. Some say the reason why one does not have to listen to Sheva Brachas in this situation is because the obligation for listening to Sheva Brachas at that time is at the time that the Chassan and Kala, the bride and groom, are also saying their Birkat Hamazon. The question comes up is how you can exempt yourself from a zimun. If there's going to be an invitation to bench later, how can you walk out on that? Some say that one should make sure either not to wash at the same time as everybody else, or to finish eating the same time as everybody else. So it's sort of like you're eating your own meal. And this way you're actually justified in leaving early. Rav Moshe Feinstein said that one should have in mind before washing that you don't want to join in Birkat Hamazon with everybody, which could be 10 o'clock or whatever it is, and then you can leave early. Others say that the condition doesn't work, and the only way you can exempt yourself, if you want to do such a thing, from bench saying Birkat Hamazon with everybody else, is if you don't wash for bread. Then you're in a problem if you're eating a whole meal. Okay, no easy way to solve this one. However, the custom is that we rely on Rav Moshe Feinstein's suggestion and a condition. When you wash, you say, I'm not going to stay for the whole thing. That's effective. The custom is that you can bench yourself. You could say Birkat Hamazon by yourself, but if it's preferable, if you can swing it, if you can figure out a way to arrange it, to arrange a zimun with 3 people, to make a zimun before you say Birkat Hamazon and leave. The poskim stress that in order to avoid the problem raised by people leaving early, the Bal Simcha, the people making the wedding, should have this in mind, and they should schedule the dancing after the benching. So make sure that people eat, and there's a little bit of dancing, but make sure that Birkat Hamazon doesn't stretch on into late in the evening when people have to get back home. So if you make it easier for people, it'll help them do what they should do. There's an interesting conversation about, we mentioned Panim Chadashot. Panim Chadashos is new guests that haven't been part of the Simcha up till now. So they were supposed to include some new people to partake in the Simcha so that we're justified in saying the blessings again for people who haven't heard them recited in the presence of this bride and this groom. So let's say they're there. Do they have to eat something? Do they have to wash, bench? Do they have to eat bread? Some say they should wash and eat bread. Some say, in other words, make a full meal. Some say they have to eat something, and others say there's no obligation at all. As long as they're there, they're considered panim chadashos, and they add a new joy and specialness to the simcha, and you can say the Sheva Brachas again. The custom is that they should eat something. They don't necessarily have to wash. One who follows this custom can still participate in a Sheva Brachas, where the custom is that you don't have to eat in order to be considered panim chadashot. Okay, now what about different groups of people qualifying as panim chadashot? Rabbi Eliashiv, Rav Eliashiv considers a woman to be panim chadashot as long as she's honored such that you would make sure that there's a portion of food for her there. You would go to the trouble of preparing an extra portion, and then she's considered panim chadashot. Basically the same as we said for any panim chadashos. A child who's not yet bar mitzvah is not qualified for panim chadashos. A kid, as nice as it is to have them part of the simcha, as much as they enjoy it, they should be bar or bar mitzvah before they are considered panim chadashos that would necessitate saying the Sheva Brachas. An avel, no one should know from such things. An avel, Rahman al-Atzan, somebody who's a mourner, should not be panim chadashos. There is an opinion in the name of Sova Smachos, not sure who that is, that if you can't find anybody else, you can include an avel, someone who's in mourning, as part of the panim chadash. Also a question of what's an avel doing at a Sheva Brachas anyway. They're not supposed to be spending time at a joyous gathering. So a complicated shaila, that one also. Okay, you know what? We'll pause here, and tomorrow we'll talk about Shabbos and panim chadashot with regard to simchas and benching and all that. Okay, please join us again tomorrow. Have a good day.